Hello everyone, I'm Robert, and it is April 2020, and the coronavirus or COVID-19 is all around us. And many of you might be stuck in your houses, not going to work, not being able to go to school, and just waiting for this disease to kind of leave and finish itself out so we can get back to life. I've been reading a lot of newspapers and listening to the news and looking online, and I felt, hey, I should make a video to highlight some of the vocabulary that we use when we talk about diseases, sicknesses, and viruses. So in this English lesson, we will work on vocabulary that we can use with COVID-19. Okay, so scientists use the word COVID-19 to talk about this virus. So what does COVID-19 mean? Why did they actually choose this word? Well, we break it down into some parts. It actually means something. The first one is CO. Now CO means corona, and I will talk about that later and what that means. V is virus, which is the microscopic organism that gets into our bodies and has made us sick. And D is disease, so COVID virus disease. The 19 means 2019, and that's the year that the virus became alive, or scientists found it and it started to affect us. So let's look at CO, which is corona. Now corona is a Latin word, and it means crown. So the crown is a hat that a king or a queen would wear. Maybe it's made of gold and it has a lot of jewels and diamonds on it. So what is the shape of a crown? Well, the crown is a circle shape, a round shape. So when scientists look at this virus, they see this round shape. And so they call it a coronavirus because it has the round shape. And a coronavirus is a special virus. It's quite dangerous and it can spread very easily to people. Now virus, the word letter V, virus, is microscopic. We can't see it with the eye. It gets into the bodies of animals or people, and it could harm us and can even kill us. And our body wants to fight the virus and get rid of it. Disease is sickness, right? So when we are sick, or a lot of people get sick, it is called a disease. So COVID-19, corona, round, virus, disease, 2019. So an important English word to know when we are talking about viruses is the word spread. Now, spread in this case means it's going to move, the virus will move to many, many people and to many, many places. So you might hear on the news or see in the newspaper, the virus is spreading, or the virus has spread to some kind of country. The virus has spread to the United States, or it has spread to Europe. Now, another phrase we can use is stop the spread. You might hear this a lot. So as the virus is spreading to many people in many countries, we will ask the question, how do we stop the spread from happening? Now here, spread is a noun. It's no longer a verb. So we stop the spread of the virus. Another phrase that we often hear is slow the spread. How do we slow the spread? In the beginning, the virus was spreading very quickly, and scientists didn't know where it was going or how quickly it would get to other people in other countries. But now we know we can slow the spread of the virus. And one reason is because many people are staying at home and not going out and mingling with each other. Now, another really interesting word is viral. So we have the word virus, which is a noun, but viral is an adjective. And viral means that something is spreading very quickly like a virus. So we can say, for example, a YouTube video that is very popular. The YouTube video becomes viral. Oh, it's a viral video. That means it's spreading very, very quickly to many, many people. Also, a song, a popular song, can become viral. So I listen to the song, I like it, I tell my friend, he tells somebody, the song spreads to everywhere. We say it is viral. So I guess you can say a virus is viral, but we don't usually say that. But it is, when we talk about something that is viral, we mean that it is spreading like a virus. So one more example of the word viral is, I made this cool YouTube video. It is going viral. It has over 100,000 views in 2 days. That's really viral. Another word that we often use when talking about this coronavirus is outbreak. Outbreak. So it's a compound word, out and break together. So you can think about outbreak like the virus is inside something and it breaks out and it starts to spread everywhere. But we use this word outbreak as a noun. So we talk about, well, where did the outbreak begin? Where did the coronavirus outbreak start? An example of using the word outbreak is, since the outbreak of coronavirus, many countries have shut down and many people have stopped going to work or going to school. Source is another very important word to know when we talk about a virus. So in this case, we will say, well, what is the source of this coronavirus? And the source is where it comes from. So in this case, scientists believe the source is a mammal called a pangolin, or it might even be a bat. So we say, well, we can say that the source of the coronavirus is from a pangolin, or the source of the coronavirus may be from a bat. We also might ask the question, where was the source? Where was the source? And scientists believe the source started in China in a market. So we will say, oh, the COVID-19 source possibly was in China. Another word I often see on the news is pandemic. Pandemic. A pandemic means when a sickness or disease or a virus spreads all around the world and everybody on the earth is affected. That's when we call it a pandemic. You might have heard of a word called epidemic, but an epidemic is more of a smaller space, like, oh, there's an epidemic in this school or an epidemic in this country. When something becomes a pandemic, it means it has spread all over the world and it is very serious. How about get and have? Get and have are two important words when we talk about a virus. In English, we will say, oh, you get the coronavirus, or he got the coronavirus. Or you might say, I feel very sick. I hope I don't have the coronavirus. So, get the coronavirus means somebody gives it to you, it has spread to you, and have the coronavirus means you are sick with the coronavirus. So, get the coronavirus and have the coronavirus. What happens if you get the coronavirus? Well, when you get the virus, you might have symptoms. Symptoms. Now, symptoms mean what happens to your body when you are sick. So, let's talk about the symptoms for the coronavirus. Symptoms is a word that you can use for any kind of sickness. For example, if you have a cold, you can say, oh, I have a cold. My symptoms are a stuffy nose and a headache. So, with coronavirus, there are mild symptoms and serious symptoms. So mild symptoms means you don't feel so bad, you might be uncomfortable, maybe have a headache, but you are pretty much okay. Serious symptoms mean that you might have to go to the hospital or you might be in bed for several days and you really are not feeling very good. So mild symptoms and serious symptoms. Now, what are the symptoms for the coronavirus? Well, let's take a look. First one is a dry cough. So a dry cough is considered a common symptom of the coronavirus. Another is a high fever. So now many times we get sick, we have a fever, but the coronavirus fever is very high and it comes and goes. So you might be okay in the afternoon and then at night, boom, you have a high fever and you're not feeling very well. Another one is heavy fatigue. This word fatigue means very, very tired. You don't have energy to do anything. You just want to lay around on your bed and it's not a really good feeling, is it? A final symptom is trouble breathing. So if the virus gets into your lungs will fill up with fluid and you will have trouble breathing. This is a serious symptom. So a dry cough is a mild symptom. A high fever is a mild to serious symptom. Fatigue is a mild symptom, but it could become serious. And trouble breathing is a serious symptom. Luckily though, with this coronavirus, most people have mild symptoms and the virus will get into you and your body can fight it. And of course, if you have serious symptoms, you probably are in the hospital and even something worse might happen to you. Some people have died, and that means the symptoms were very serious. Let's give an example. My example is, some people who get coronavirus have very serious symptoms. They might have trouble breathing, heavy fatigue, and a high fever. These symptoms can be fatal, but luckily most people have mild or no symptoms and can recover in 2 weeks. Finally, what can we do to slow down or stop the spread of the coronavirus? So many countries have done something called a lockdown. So lockdown, put it together, a lockdown. Lockdown can be a noun or also can be a verb. So politicians might say we lock down the city or we lock down the country. Now lockdown means that the government has told people, please do not go to work and do not go to school. Don't be going out and talking to each other and going to restaurants or going to pubs or having a coffee. We want to separate from each other so the virus does not spread. The only people that are allowed to go out are people who have essential jobs. You might hear this word essential. So who are people that have essential jobs? Well, essential jobs means that jobs that people need to do to keep our society running, to keep our community running. That would be, of course, doctors and nurses or people who work in hospitals. It could mean policemen, firemen, drivers who are delivering things to supermarkets or delivering things to hospitals, ambulance drivers who are taking sick people to the hospital. These are essential jobs, and they are the only people who can go out of the lockdown. So again, lockdown means you're going to stay in your house, you're not going to go out and go to work, you're not going to go out and go to school. You can leave and go to the supermarket, maybe take a walk, but other than that, you're mostly going to be locked down in your house. So if you're in a lockdown, you're probably watching too much Netflix, drinking too much coffee, and maybe sleeping too much. I guess that can be kind of fun. Scientists have also said that we should practice social distancing. So social distancing. So social is when people get together and we talk with each other and hang out. And distance is the how far apart we will be from each other. So this virus spreads in the air and it doesn't spread more than 2 meters or 6 feet. So scientists have said, look, if you stay 6 feet apart or 2 meters apart, then there is less chance that the virus will cross over or spread from one person to another. This is called social distancing. So if we practice social distancing, we can slow or stop the spread of coronavirus. Another thing we can do is wear masks, and I have a mask here because I live in Taiwan, and Taiwan there's still a lot of masks around. So if we wear a mask, the mask can also slow or stop the spread of the coronavirus because the mask will stop some of the air or the virus from coming out and moving out to other people. It doesn't stop it 100% or all of it, but it can slow it down a little bit. So in Taiwan, which we do not have a lockdown in Taiwan, by the way, so we are still free to go to school and go to work, but everybody wears a mask. So if we go to the supermarket, we wear a mask. If I go into a restaurant, we wear a mask. All of this can slow or stop the spread of the coronavirus. Another very serious thing you can do is quarantine or self-isolate. So quarantine means that you are going to go into your room or into your house and not see or talk to any other people for a period of time. Scientists say we should quarantine ourselves for at least 2 weeks because the virus can live in us for 2 weeks before we see any symptoms. So people that are flying back to Taiwan, for example, must quarantine in their house for 14 days. That means they go into their house, they do not leave, they do not see other people, and somehow they're going to get food delivered to them, or maybe they just have to cook by themselves. Another word used is self-isolate, which is the same as quarantine. Self-isolate, self is myself, isolate by myself. So you self-isolate in your house, or you quarantine yourself in your house. So an example with all of these are, how can we slow the spread of the coronavirus? Well, we can practice social distancing and observe social distancing rules and guidelines. We can also wear a mask. We can also quarantine and self-isolate. Hopefully this will stop the spread of the coronavirus. That's the end of my COVID-19 English lesson. I hope you learned something. And as you watch the news or you read the newspaper or look online, hopefully you'll see some of these vocabulary words and you can understand them a little bit better. So be safe, everybody. And if you're in lockdown or quarantine, just remember, hopefully this is going to end really soon and we'll get back to normal. I'll see you next time. Hi everyone, I'm Robert. Remember to click on the subscribe button or the like button if my videos are helping you learn English. I'll see you next time.